how to do, I mean, I know how to do. I thought the training was very good. More breath control, of course. More understanding of where their equipment is in relationship to their vehicle. I circled twice to find the 45 plays, so that's a biggie. And catches, there must have been something with catches. And that could have happened in the beginning when they were, I think they were, I mean, you know, standing there and then, but that was great that they didn't move when the music didn't start. And then, you know, but it might have made them a little bit nervous, you know, I thought you had good variety, good depth, good range. I just have work your tech and concentrate on breath.
Okay.
Okay?
Mr. Turner?
They need to relax as well. I thought they did a great job of holding the beginning.
Yeah.
Because I was quite bought into that. I thought it was what they were going to do. I don't know if that's ever happened before or not, but they just moved. Stylistically, if I were to ask you one part of it that you thought was innate or inherent to what they were doing, it looked to my perception like it was requiring turnout, like most everything that you were doing. Am I right with that, or?
Yes.
Yeah, it wasn't there consistently. I didn't feel like there was rotation in the hip sockets. Then that it was total retrograde, because a lot of things looked like either sickled. The finish to things could be a lot clearer. So rotation possibilities, you bet. The use of stretch, like you even came. Didn't you come down to a vertical? Oh, I made some comments about the beginning when you were stretching out. What the hell is that? If I'm looking at the beginning like this, I'm looking at hands, right? Okay, this is such an important thing. Is the palm up?
That's my very first note.
Is it down? Is it out? Now watch. Here's the other thing. If I'm like this and I have inclusion, that means I need you to give me something. If I'm simply doing this, I'm offering you something. Now they do the same thing. They come down in a vertical, right?
Yes.
And I think it's quite good that they go back to that. But that same sort of thing that is so, I don't know, I think it's just
That's the very
such a
first
powerful
note I
thing.
have. This is the other thing is it's not only is it an emotional tool, which you guys can speak to, it's a directional tool. And right now, they're just presenting the rocking chair. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because even when it was the wrong music, I got off on this whole tangent
Me
about
too.
if this is where you're going to be, you have to
I
define it
talked the
better.
whole time.
I thought that really is my first thing. The other thing is there's not one moment in your soundtrack, in this whole sound environment, that's frantic. And some of them are performing with a frantic energy. And that destroys everything you're building. Do you understand what I'm saying? They're very...
I said that too.
That's a calendric issue. That's the 16th of January. But the sooner you breathe that out of them, the sooner they're going to lock in, and the maturity level of the entire product. You're sitting on a gorgeous product. I mean, it is a beautiful, even the little things, the transference of the flag design I talked about, that has visual weight properties. That has textural properties that I can talk about in ensemble. I thought it was brilliant. One of the biggest things for them is to fulfill each thought before moving to the next thought. It's like they're yelling at me, I'll clean my room while they're running out the door to go to Walmart. You know, they're not, we have an obligation here. We're having a conversation. Don't turn your head away from me when you're talking to me. Communicate with me. There are little things in there. There's this wonderful moment in the soundtrack that has the whole note. I specified the moment where this happens, and there's a rifle toss through the whole note. You know what I'm saying? You've got to ride that note. The marriage between the release and the trajectory of that gun and that whole note have to be indistinguishable. That's a timing and performance issue. You want to look open class. You want to look like this thing is so well tailored that I can't tell you where one idea begins and the next one ends. It's fused from beginning to end. That's important. There's some wimpy upper body things. I don't know if that strength is developed right now or if it's coming off of Christmas or whatever, but they're a little flabby up top sometimes. There's a four-corner toss where they push the flag out. Once we see the first one, the effect is over. Then it becomes just an issue of does everybody catch?
Well, let me piggyback on that. That was too much effort. It was so much effort to get that out.
It's physically
And
demanding.
physically,
Yeah.
it just looked wrong. I would, and again, I'm not trying to be right, but I would look at somehow turning their bodies and putting it out so that it's much easier to do, so they have a prep time to do it, because right now it looks, it negates the delicate moment of the music, because they're having to work so hard. Am I on?
You do just,
Same thing.
it becomes an issue of will they all catch?
Yeah.
It's not,
Instead of, this
it's
is so
not,
beautiful, it's
people are
22
clapping
inches.
because they're like, oh,
It's the
good.
intensity of the toss that doesn't work.
And I know this time will become an issue, but there was one place that I was really adamant about. You have this gorgeous big diva on the 50-yard line behind the rocking chair. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Amber.
Yeah.
At the end. And everybody's pushing in to the 50. And she does eventually come out and make a statement. But see, I don't want to watch you build that mass. I need for you to use her. I don't know if she spins in the background. Do you know she's there? You can't hide her. And she's got a flag.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? So I know she's going to make the final statement. So all you've left me is just this whole exercise of construction. That's the last 10 seconds of the show. I don't want to watch you build a mass. I don't want to. We know you're going to the rocking chair. We know you're coming into this space. And there she is. So that's an area where you really, really have to go. How can we mask the, everybody knows where we're going, but how can we create an aha out of an ah?
But she also dances by herself, doesn't she?
Yeah, she has.
She does quite a few things. I think one of the things that might pull focus is something that was a little disturbing to me. I think she way overdoes it. I think she uses way, which also adds to the tension. There's way more effort. I'm aware of her effort. And it just, it kind of clouds the purity.
That may feed into my word frantic, which implies speed, but there is this boundness at times.
Well, and isn't there a place too that's happening stage left on the, or where there's like three goes and they do like a Kirky kind of thing?
While she's in the center?
No. This is same kind of a point where they do it like one at a time. Am I right or no? The back leg comes way back, they're extending. There's a jump. Am I? No?
Okay.
Not with those kids.
That may have been me at the hotel.
You'll get it when you get
Too
there.
much.
I did it 3 times.
Anyway, just pull back. There's got to be breadth in the joints and stuff, you know. She's got extension and all that kind of thing, you know.
The, one thing that you need to do is when you go home and look at the recap, look at Ed White's score, that's the score I gave you.
Okay.
And I transformed it because of the way you guys came on. I thought I was being so.
Oh.
And I
He was
didn't
out of
know-
order just like the music.
Yeah, and I
Right.
did the same thing, and I didn't realize it until we sat down here, and he said something smart about, well, you didn't like Lafayette. I go, yeah, I did. And then I saw that, so, and it didn't make any difference in placement. It just
Okay.
makes me look stupid, so.
No.
And that's fine. One thing that I really appreciated was the use of the floor as a staging tool. Intellectually, yeah, every time I look at a form and how it developed, it was like, well, that develops with either this form or the.
They used the
tandem
almond
circles.
shape beautifully in the center, and the rocking chair didn't become trite.
No.
No, it
You
didn't.
know, at
It's
first
just
I
the
thought,
one rows there.
I really was afraid in the beginning. I'm like, ugh.
See,
Well,
It'll
the other-
at the very
it'll be
beginning,
somebody's
too.
dead grandma or something. It was
You've got that
beautiful.
mass.
It was
It's
really
recent and everything, but you've got
sophisticated.
some of them in the white. Why?
Which part again?
At the
Very, very
beginning.
beginning, before you start, can they not all be in the black and then develop?
Oh,
into
we
the
never
white?
looked at that.
I mean, I
Yeah.
know that's.
But if
tiny,
you make
it's
that
part
white
of
the sacred space, though, psychologically, you're exactly right.
I mean,
You
there's gotta be,
create
that was
something
bothersome
about
to me.
that space.
And then how you developed some of the flag stuff earlier too, they kind of went into the white and went back out. So if that white is important, then I think that you've really got to make it important in the design of the program, for me, in election.
Well, the word sacred space.
Yes,
That-
exactly.
The sacred, it's the light. Everything
Yes.
else is
Yes.
marginalized. The other thing that I think is really
Couple more
important,
minutes.
because you guys are at this level in your writing, and they're at this level and they're performing, every kid at that level understands quality. We had a great run, it felt good, it did it. Okay, that's fine. They're all going to say that on the WJI video when they run out of the tunnel. I need for your children to tell me what emotion they, as individuals, I'm going on the floor today, and I want to make my audience feel this. They don't need a word for 30 people. They need their own word. They each need a motivation relevant to this soundtrack that they're going to elicit. Because we get to that word, why. Okay, I care about your performance. Why? Yes, it's lovely. The music is engaging and endearing. I love the chair. We can all find some symbolism in someone lost or somebody's not there who used to be there. All of that stuff we've seen 1,000 times. So what can you do to make it individualized? What can you do to make it your own? And the only thing you can do is to tell this story through your individual voice. And so they have to come out. I don't want to... The one thing we all agree on is we don't want a color girl that's crying coming out of the tunnel and it's all fake. You want a low
Don't
score.
cry, whatever you do.
Oh my God. Well, don't force it. I mean, oh gosh.
One thing I would do would take 20 minutes out of your rehearsal. You do cross floors, and you know how to do that. Do emotional cross floors where you make them take ownership of it. So the first, you put them in the normal line. The first one steps off, and you're as cold as you've ever been in your life. You get to the 50-yard line or the center of the field or the floor, and you're hotter than you've ever been before. And then make them critique. Sally convinced me, Sheila, you were never hot. It was never hot.
I didn't mean hot. Heat hot or
Heat
like
hot.
sexy
Yeah,
hot?
No, heat hot.
Because I got that. I mean, I already go work that.
Yeah,
I just said, I hear hot.
So, and then
mine goes there.
you could do, coming across the other way, you're the happiest you've ever been in your life, and all of a sudden your dad said, I just ran over your puppy. I backed up the car out and I just hit your puppy. So they're as sad as they can be. And that's to bring them out of their shell a little bit more. And then have them just think about the emotional connection that they have to that music. We've heard that music, we've seen the show 1,000 times before, and you brought a unique take to it.
It can't be out there. We've all seen Broadway. We were talking about Broadway shows today and things that do work and don't work on the road or movies. We're talking about Billy Elliot. I saw the original company in London, and they were still tweaking it, and this part was more and that was less. And you go, this works, that doesn't. But the whole thing was out there. They weren't comfortable enough with the writing, but time said we have to perform. So they staged it. My point is, right now, your show's out there. How do you bring it up there? Make it personal. Because I got to tell you, your whole environment screams to be loved. It's a beautiful, engaging, the double circle feel. It's gorgeous.
Absolutely.
So how do you as individuals come to me? Break that barrier and come to me and give me a why. I love you because. You win because. Because I think you're sitting on something with tremendous potential. Especially for the 16th of January. You can take this to incredible depths. So it's a chance for you to have a really remarkable season.
All righty.
Thank you.